Hi, welcome to my channel Zazaline. My name is Janita, and in today's tutorial we are working on this cute little wallet. So very functional. We have lots of space. It has a wide opening and we can place 1, 2, 3 cards in, and then we have one deeper spot in here where we can roll up our money, put it in here. You can put some change in there too, and if you want, you can place your keys at the end, and you can just keep your keys here, or you can just put them right in there. And there we go, voila, we have a nice little purse that we can throw in our bag. You can find this pattern on zazalinestudio.com. And if you didn't subscribe yet, please subscribe and hit the like button. We are doing videos like this every week. So let's get started. Let's go over the things we will need. As usual, we need the pattern, and you can find this PDF printable pattern on zazalinestudio.com. We need a zipper, a zipper pull, a swivel hook, some smaller size swivel hook, and also a ring. Okay, so let's grab panel B, and the B panel has an interfacing, and I usually cut the interfacing a little bit smaller so I don't have such bulky seam allowance. And I was using Shapeflex from Pellin, and what I'm gonna do is I will place this on top. I want to make sure that the interfacing is showing. I will grab my pen and I will make the lines. So this will serve me as a guideline, and then I will align it again on the top and the bottom, and I will mark the lines again. And then I will just connect the lines, and that's gonna be my guideline, and I will know exactly where to do the fold line and placement line. Okay, so when I am done with the lines, just make sure that the top is a little bit larger than the bottom. So you want to make sure that you position it the right way. And now let's put this on a side. We are gonna bring the iron, and we will fold the line. So the first line is always the fold line. So what I usually do, I will put my ruler in there and I will fold. Then I'm gonna remove the ruler and I am gonna iron it. And that way I will have a nice fold line, nice fold. And then again, we will place it on the first line, remove the ruler, and we will press down with hot iron. And again, we have 2 more lines to do, so let's finish up. Okay, so now when we have all 1, 2, 3, 4 fold lines done, what we will do, the bigger part on the top is gonna go down like this. We are gonna take the second fold and we are gonna put it about 1 centimeter, and we can take the guideline and you can see it's about 1 centimeter away from the top edge, and we will do the same thing. So they are about 1 centimeter apart, and what we want to end up with is we want these 2 parts end up the same. So on the bottom, it should end up at the same level. So then when we are done, this looks quite okay for me. I will attach these 2. And I will just run a hot iron over just to make sure that the that it's gonna stay in place. Okay, so once it cools down, we are gonna take the bottom piece, the longest piece, and we are gonna flip it over and place it on top. And again, we want the bottom to end up to meet at the same spot. And then we are gonna take our clips, and now we are gonna go back to the machine, and we are gonna do 1 centimeter seam allowance on both sides here, but we are gonna stop right there. So this is the part where we are not gonna sew. We want to keep this opening. Okay, so when we are done sewing, we are gonna take scissors and just cut the corners. And the same on the top. Make sure you don't cut in the stitching. And now through this opening, we will flip it inside out. It's gonna be a little challenging. Hopefully you left a bigger opening, a little bigger than me, but we can do it. It's gonna take a little while. And once you flip it inside out, just run a hot iron over it and the bottom. So because later on we are gonna close this space, and let's just try it out, and it's perfect size for the cards. So we are gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 slots. Now we are going to introduce panel A, and don't forget that the 2 linings and 2 exteriors will have to be cut mirror image. So you want to cut them like this. The same thing for the linings. And I'm going to grab one of the linings and place, so we see these little notches on the bottom. We have the opening also on the bottom, and we are going to position it the way so it sits above these notches, and also it will be away from this curve because we need some space for the zipper. So about 1 centimeter here and about 1.5 centimeters from this side. So this is the right positioning. And we can secure it with either, if you have very long clips, or you can just simply put a little pin in here. But these ones are pretty long. So this is okay. And I have some extra long ones for extra security. Yeah, let's do this one. This is better. Okay, and now we are gonna go to the sewing machine, and we are just gonna sew on these 3 sides, not on the top. 1, 2, 3, and at the same time we are gonna close this gap on the bottom. Okay, there we go. So just make sure you backstitch right here, because there's going to be lots of wear and tear when you're actually putting the cards in. So let's put this on the side, and we are gonna work on the zipper. Okay, let's work on the zipper, and we will need a zipper pull, and a piece of fabric. So let's put the zipper pull in first. And if you don't know how, it almost looks like a triangle. So the pointy part will go down, and you will do a little on one side and then a little on the other side. It can get a little tricky. And then I usually place it on the table, because that way I can hold the ends and pull. And of course it doesn't work when I am filming. Why it would work? There we go. And this is what we want. So on the other side, we are gonna prep this little piece of fabric, and very simply you will fold it, make a crease, open it up. You will go towards the midline, and then fold it in half again. And I'm gonna run a hot iron over this piece. It's gonna make my life much easier. And so now when you are done, on the other side, so the pointy side, it's facing the left. The other side is gonna be the end, and that's gonna be where we put this little piece of fabric. We will secure it with a clip, and we will go to the machine and just stitch right here. And this is how it should look like. Now we're gonna put the zipper on the other side, open it up, and now we want to grab the one side and pull under, and we are trying to achieve this 90-degree angle. Okay, we will take a little pin and we will secure it. We will do the same thing on the other side. This time it's gonna be facing the other way. So you just grab two thumbs and one goes under, one goes on top. And then we will need a pin and just secure it with a pin. So this is how it should look like. Now we are gonna go back to the machine and we are gonna stitch right here at the very end. Okay, and when we are done, this is how it's supposed to look like. So we just wanted to stitch the very end. And now let's make this the same width, so it's not confusing. Very good. And now we are ready to grab the external panel. We are gonna open this up, place it down, and we will go about 1.5 centimeters. And if you can see, these are the centimeters. So it's 1.5. And we will clip them right here, and we will go along the side, and then when we get to the curve, we want to do tiny little snips in here. So just where the curve is, and I usually like to do the ones on the side and just tiny little ones, just where the curve is, so it's gonna help us to curve it easier. You don't want to do it too deep. It's only a few millimeters. Okay, and then we are gonna go to the machine and we are gonna stitch all around all the way down. And we just wanted to do at the very end of it, the very edge. Now we are gonna grab our lining and we are gonna place it the good side down. And we will clip it in place and go one more time around. This time we are gonna get a little bit closer towards the zipper. So if you have a zipper foot, now it's time to take it out. And we are gonna go all the way down. Okay. So then we are gonna take the zipper foot and we are gonna go all the way down. And there we go. Now we are gonna expose the zipper. We will flip it inside out. And now we will work on the other side. So we will do exactly the same thing. So we are gonna grab our external panel. Okay, so position them this way. Now take the zipper and flip them good sides together. And again, we started here about 1.5 centimeters, so we are gonna do the same thing on this side. So let's use this grid. So it's 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeters, which is right here. And we will do exactly the same thing we did before. We will clip it on this side. We will do tiny little notches or little cuts. It's gonna help us to curve it. And we will do it in 2 steps. We are gonna, just like before, first we are gonna sew the edge. Maybe one little snip in here. Okay, so let's go back to the machine and we are just gonna do the edge, just a few millimeters from the edge. Okay, and this is how it should look like. Now we will put this on a side here a little bit lower. We will take the other lining that we already prepped with the card slots and we are gonna place it on top and do the same thing. So we are gonna take out the zipper foot, and this time we are gonna get a little bit closer, and again we are gonna go all the way across from one side to the other as close to the zipper as possible. Okay, so there we go. Now we are gonna flip this around and see how it looks like. So when we close it, let's see how it looks. Okay, it zips up nicely. You just have to pull out these edges. Okay, so this is what it's gonna be like. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We are gonna put this on the side and we are gonna work on the strap. So we will make a crease towards the midline, and this is what we want to end up with. And we are just gonna do 2 lines. Okay, and we have our tiny little strap. Now we are gonna grab the whatever we made so far, and so this is how it's gonna look like when it's zipped up. So let's just fold this in half and place it somewhere here. Okay, and now we are gonna go back to the machine and we are just gonna secure this piece and we are gonna stay close to the edge. And you want to make sure it doesn't go through the lining, it goes only through the external piece and on the straight side. So we have curve on the right, straight on the right, on the left, and just a few, let's say this is about 2 centimeters from the top. Okay, so now this is gonna be a little challenging. We are almost done. This is the last step, so let's keep it closed. And now we want to flip it inside out. So we want the external panels to be on one side and the linings on the other side. And we will open up the zipper, because if we don't, we can flip it back inside out. And now we are just gonna line up the sides. So let's start here. So this is the zipper side and we want to be exactly the same. So the lining has to be exactly the same as the external panel. And we will clip it in place. And on this side, yeah, this is going to be a little challenging. It's going to be a little tight. Okay, and then the lining. Now, this is the bottom of the lining. So we will do the side completely, the side of the lining. This is what we will do. But again, on the bottom, we are gonna keep, and I'm gonna put these pins just as a reminder that I'm gonna sew all the way here, but I am not gonna sew in this space. So this is my little reminder not to sew in there. It happened many times that I just went all around. I didn't leave any opening. So right in here, it's the bottom of the lining. This is where you want to keep it open. Otherwise, everything else, you are gonna go 1 centimeter seam allowance all around, except of this spot. Okay, and when we are done, and this is how it's looking, there's one more thing we have to do before we flip it inside out, and that is these corners right in here. And we are going to open it up. If you want, you can open it like this. And we are just going to do about 1 centimeter seam allowance. And we are going to do 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, and 1 centimeter. And now when we are done on all 3 spots, 1, 2, and 3, now we can flip it inside out through this opening. Okay, so this is how it looks like when we turned it inside out, and we still have one more thing to do, and that's closing this little gap. So we will go back to the machine, and we are just gonna close this bottom opening. And there we go, it's nice and closed. We can tuck it in. Okay, and it is done. So I think it looks pretty nice. The last thing is to add the ring in here, so we can actually put it on our keys, or if you want to keep it in your purse, that would be okay too. There we go. I have a little ring, and I can also, I have this little swivel hook. Okay, so this is it. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you didn't do so, please subscribe, hit the like button, and comment below, and I will see you on my next video.